Hello, my name is Kelly and you're watching That Smells Divine. Today, I'm so excited for this video because today we're talking about 10 warm and cozy scents. I know it's the vibe right now. It's been the vibe for a lot of you for like a month now. It's still in the mid 80s here in Austin, Texas. We had one cold night the other night that it got down to like 59 degrees. So I'm ready. I'm ready for these warm, cozy fragrances. I last night even put the air conditioner on like super low so that I could enjoy a vanilla fragrance that I had been wanting to wear for a long time. So that's just kind of the reality of living in the South during the winter. So as I was trying to figure out what to put on this list, because I was clear I only wanted to choose 10, it was honestly very difficult. I could have put like 100 fragrances on this list. So the 10 that I've chosen are like my go-to, my favorites, the ones that I recommend the most. Some of these are new, some of these are not new at all. And I think for the most part, these are all ones that I've talked about on this channel previously. Some of them not for a while and some of them recently. So buckle in, it's gonna be fun. Okay, we have to start with a fragrance that I've been raving about on this channel since its inception back in 2022. And this is Floral Marshmallow by DOSSIER. It's the DUPE for Love Don't Be Shy. And I have been talking about this fragrance for a long time because it brings me back to my raver days in the 90s. I can literally smell the dance floor. I can smell the UFO pants. I can smell the fun, the youthfulness, the just, oh my gosh, like best times ever. If you haven't seen that video, I will link up top here so that you can go hear the whole story around why this fragrance hits so hard for me. And this is my third bottle. It's almost gone and I've got a backup waiting for me because I will never be without this fragrance. You'll see here that my label says Floriental Marshmallow. It has now been changed to Floral Marshmallow. So if you go looking for it on Dossier's website, it's not 100% dupe. I've done a video, I believe, where I compared the two side by side. It's not 100%, but it's pretty spot on. And this to me smells better. Yeah, this is just a beautiful like orange blossom marshmallow. It's a very fluffy, very sweet, very girly, very youthful, very, it's youthful, but it's also like very elevated at the same time. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It almost has this like cotton candy kind of feel to it. I love this so much. I love it so, so much. It's like my ultimate feel-good fragrance. And I would recommend this if you like sweet scents, if you like kind of girly, slightly sticky, very sweet fragrances, and you want something that you can wear. Like this is perfect when you're like all cozied up on the couch and you want to watch some Netflix. It's great for like going out with friends. Like it's such a versatile fragrance. So I highly recommend this fragrance so much. If you haven't gotten your nose on this, I definitely recommend doing so. This is Floral Marshmallow by DOSSIER. Okay, next we have one of my all-time favorite tea fragrances. I don't even know if there's tea in here, to be honest. I'm gonna not talk about notes as much during this video, but I will put like full note breakdowns, I guess I choose, over here. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of share with you like why I love these fragrances and what the experience is. So this is a sample and I definitely have this on my full bottle wish list. This is none other than BDK's GRIS CHARNEL. You might be sick of hearing about this, but it's so worth it, you guys. If you haven't checked this out yet and you like fig, Earl Grey tea, cardamom, kind of cozy, almost like chai experiences. I'm trying so hard not to wear this, but I have to spray it because I can't really smell it right now and I need to. You guys, this is so incredibly delicious. This is a spicy fig fragrance that has this like beautiful, I think there's sandalwood in here. It has this beautiful rounding to it. It's the only way I can think of to describe it. It is such a beautifully unique fragrance. This is gonna work for men and women. It's completely unisex. It smells so good. It smells like that beautiful smell almost of like Earl Grey tea with like a little bit of milk or cream in it. That sort of like spicy, creamy feel that you get. It is just, oh, you guys, this is so pretty. It's so elevated. Like you're gonna be the cool girl or the cool guy if you wear this. Like it's just so good. I need a full bottle stat. This, to me, I always get the exact same visual when I wear this fragrance, and it's like sitting in a brownstone where the window of the living room is like up against the street, and you're on the first floor, and you're like watching people walk by, and they're cold and they're all bundled up, and maybe they've got like maybe it's before Christmas, so they've got like packages in their hands, and they're like kind of rushing down the cobblestone streets, but you're inside and you're sitting on this beautiful white kind of fluffy couch, and you've got like a giant cashmere blanket over you, and you're all cozied up, and you have a cup of tea, and you're like journaling or you're reading a book, and you're just feeling like so incredibly blissful and relaxed, and it's raining outside as well. This is totally the vibe I get with this fragrance. It is so beautiful, so beautiful. I can't say enough good things about this fragrance. And I don't just think it's a kind of fragrance that you would wear like sipping tea on a couch. I also think it's very elevated and very just like, yeah, it's really beautifully done. You could definitely wear this out. Like you could dress this up for sure. Oh, it's gorgeous. This is my absolute favorite from BDK. I hope that I'm getting a bottle. Next, we have a newer fragrance that I've spoken about a couple of times on this channel, and I have been hearing lots of buzz about this from fellow content creators. I know everyone basically across the scale is loving it. It's such a beautiful new release from the house of SNIF, and this is called Heal the Way. This is a collaboration with Alex L., who I believe is like a meditation, mindfulness mentor, and she really did it with this. I am going to get a fragrance strip. Okay, again, using sparingly because I am planning on purchasing a bottle of this for sure. This is hands down absolutely delicious. This is going to be a very meditative fragrance. I literally just sprayed like 2 little droplets because I'm just trying not to waste anything. This is a pistachio Palo Santo fragrance. It's very creamy. It's very gourmand. It's very sweet. I think there's some amber in here as well. To me, and I spoke about this previously, to me, this brings me back to the winter of 1998, maybe. Sitting in my friend's attic, watching surf videos, burning Nag Champa, getting the munchies because we were doing teenager things, and watching the snowfall outside his attic window. He lived in the attic, so we would like climb up into his attic and watch movies and get cozy while it was snowing outside. And this just brings me back to that. It doesn't smell like Nag Champa necessarily, but it has an element to it that is very similar to Nag Champa. And I realized that like, even though Nag Champa was very popular amongst my friends and I back in that time period, I don't know if it was like a universal experience in the 90s for people to be burning Nag Champa incense. Let me know in the comments, like, did you get on the Nag Champa train? Do you know what I'm talking about? It was a very specific smell for an incense. It wasn't as incensey as most incenses, if that makes sense. Not to say sense over and over again, but it had like this more sweeter, almost like fuzzy kind of smell to it. And it was just heavenly, like, oh man, just the best smell. Like it took me probably a solid 10 years to like stop my obsession with Nag Champa. And now that I'm even talking about it now, I like want to get some more, but yeah, it's just really pretty. It has like almost like a smoky, incensey, but sweet, almost like that same kind of feeling that you get with like pipe smoke. If anyone had a grandpa like back in the day that smoked tobacco out of a pipe, and you'd get that like really sweet kind of smoky smell, it almost goes there. It's really interesting, but this is such a calming fragrance. So this is a warm and cozy fragrance. I would wear this definitely at home bundled up. I would also wear it out anywhere. It's gonna sit closer to the skin, but for me, this fragrance is very much, when I say cozy, it's about like calming your internal state. And I would love to do a video about like fragrances, and I know some other content creators have recently done videos on this with like fragrances that help to calm you down or help to center you or comfort you. Definitely want to do a video on that soon, but this would be number one for sure. Like it just has this beautiful meditative quality to it. I highly recommend that one, you guys. If you haven't explored the House of SNIF yet, run, don't walk to Ulta or make an order online, because they are so good, you guys. Like, I have only smelled maybe 4 from the house, and every one I've smelled so far, I'm like head over heels in love with it. I have not smelled the new Honey Sweet yet. I'm super excited to get my nose on that. But yeah, just absolutely delicious fragrances. Okay, next we have my #1 favorite for fall and winter. Drum roll. I feel like you guys should guess it in the comments. Let me know. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you might know what this is. This, I don't have signature scents because I have so many fragrances. I'm trying to wear everything all the time, but I will tell you, this is the one I gravitate to the most. And I spray this probably every other day, at least once. And it's none other than Heaven's Speak by OAKCHA. This is the older bottle. I believe it comes in a white bottle now. This is the DUPE for Angel's Share. They are not 100% DUPESs. This one is a little bit more sweet and less boozy. I did test them side by side last week. Angel's Share is slightly more nuanced and definitely more boozy. This is more sweet and more almost gourmand. It has this like very beautiful like apple crisp smell to it. It's almost like you can smell the sugar on the top of the apple crisp. You know those like big granulated pieces of sugar? I forget what it's called, that you can like put on the top of a pastry. It smells like you've just pulled this out of the oven. You've just pulled this like apple crisp out of the oven. It's not an apple pie because it's got the layer of like flake pastry on top, and then there's like those sugar crystals on top, and you've got like the steam coming out of it, and you're just smelling this like warm like cinnamon apple like baked apple smell with this like really delicious sugar and a little bit of this like pastry, not yeasty, but almost like this, you can almost smell the actual pastry itself. It is so pretty, you guys. And this is hands down my most complimented fragrance. Every single time I wear this out into the world, people ask me what I'm wearing. Every single time, hands down. And like, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be someone in the grocery aisle. It could be, I went and got lab work done one day, and the girl that drew my blood was like, oh my God, that smells so good. I have to write it down. Like, this is a hit. I'm actually almost out of it, I'm realizing. And last night we actually placed an order for, side note, OAKCHA's new gourmand collection. We just ordered the discovery kit. It's only $12 for the discovery kit. 6 samples. There's 6 new fragrances in this gourmand collection. I'm so excited. They're all original creations, and it's $12 for 6 samples. And they're like, probably the samples are like this size, and they finally changed their samples so that they have atomizers. They're not pour samples, which I'm so happy about. But yeah, we just ordered that last night. It's super cool, like $12 for the discovery kit. And then once you get it, you pick one that you like, and you basically get a $12 coupon to use towards the purchase of a full bottle, which is really cool. They do that with all of their collections. And I completely didn't even think to order more Heaven Speak while we were placing that order, but that's okay. I'll just get more. Anyways, you guys, this is so, so, so good. If you love Angel's Share, if you love the apple cider or apple cinnamon pie kind of feel, the fall winter gourmand, you have to get your nose on this. Like, blind buy it. You will not be disappointed if that's your jam. Like, please just trust me on this. This is such an underrated, gorgeous fragrance. Okay, next we have one that I have been talking about for a couple years now, and I'm so almost out of it. I have just enough left at the bottom here for like an actual semi-wear. I really don't want to spray this. I'm really resisting. This is Lethe by ULRICH, and this is a sweater in a bottle. This is the most comforting, it's a sweater in a bottle. I don't know how else to describe it. It's got a little bit of lavender, I believe. I think there's like a cashmere note in here. I feel like, to me, it smells like slightly incensey, but again, in more of that like sweet incensey way, not like the typical incense way. And when I wore this for the very first time, I was on an island off the coast of Maine in October, I think it was, and it was chilly. And like, I live in Texas, so like October weather for us is like mid 80s, which feels like fall to us. It's like summer for other people, but I was freezing when I went to Maine, and I had this like giant bulky sweater with one of those like big chunky necks, and I was wearing that and dousing myself in this, and I just felt so warm and cozy. Like, it's just such a beautiful fragrance. Not a lot of people talk about it. I definitely recommend checking this out for sure. Okay, next we have the commodity milks, and I love all three of them. I only have with me right now the personal and the bold. I love all three. They're so delicious, you guys. If you haven't checked out commodity milk yet, like, what on earth are you waiting for? We're all talking about it still, and it's been released for what, like 3 years, 4 years at this point? Like, you gotta get on the wagon. This is just delicious. I only have a little bit of the personal left, and it actually looks like it's gone off a little bit. So I'm not gonna spray that, but I am gonna spray the bold. And yeah, just very like marshmallowy, milky, kind of smoky, like s'mores. This is, if you like the scent of a s'mores, this is absolutely gonna be a hit for you. The bold is a little bit more like spicy and smoky-ish, and the expressive is just like straight up milky, fluffy, marshmallowy. And then the personal has this beautiful like musk component to it. Actually, the personal I think is my favorite out of the three. But this is just absolutely stunning. This is like the definition of warm and cozy. This will not disappoint. Like, this, to me, this and Heal the Way are probably the most comforting fragrances that I have, like emotionally comforting. This smells like a hug from your mom. Not the way that she would actually smell, but it smells the way you felt as a child hugging your mom, if you were lucky enough to have like a mother that actually comforted you. I know a lot of people didn't have that experience, but yeah, just that feeling of like safety and comfort and like, I'm okay, everything's okay. That's what this smells like. But it also smells like standing around a fire, roasting s'mores, and it's just beautiful. It's so pretty, you guys. There's a reason why this is so popular, so definitely check it out if you haven't yet. Okay, next we have a new to me fragrance that I've talked about a couple of times. It's called Rabbit by Zoologist. And this fragrance, I'm definitely getting a full bottle of this. I have been nursing this sample because I love it so much. This is a very interesting, unique fragrance. If you haven't seen my video where I talked about this, I basically explained this as like a psychedelic experience, and it's very much Alice in Wonderland to me. It's like when I sprayed this for the first time on my skin, it was like I went down the rabbit hole. I was all of a sudden in like this different world with like, I don't even know how to explain what it did to me, like on a spiritual level. But let's just talk about like on a physical level. What does this smell like? So this is very much a like carrot cakey kind of fragrance. It is so pretty, you guys. This smells so good. I know it's a little out there. It's definitely unique. It's definitely niche. I would not blind buy this by any means. If you fully grasp this fragrance, you might think that this is one of the sexiest, most nostalgic fragrances you've ever smelled. There's something about this fragrance that just, it's like it reaches into my brain and touches on memories that I like had completely stored away like decades ago. That's what this does to me. It is so pretty. It's warm, it's sweet, but it also has this like almost like hay thing going on. Like it's got this like very earthy component to it. And it also kind of smells like fur. Like it has like it doesn't have a smell of fur. It has like a fur texture to it, which I just think is genius because obviously it's called Rabbit. Yeah, oh, man, this is good. It's real good. I don't know if everyone will like this, like I said, but if you're all curious, I would highly recommend getting your nose on this. Like, so worth it. And I got this sample from Surrender to Chance, which is my new favorite place to buy samples. I'm pretty sure they still have it. Yeah, you guys, this, I can't even, there might be some orris in here. It's so pretty. Like I literally can't stop smelling myself. I think I might have to make this my scent of the day. I want to eat it. Oh, it's so good. Anyways, moving on to the 8th fragrance on our list. This is one that people were raving about a couple of years ago, and now it's like, it's literally like no one talks about it anymore. This is a fall winter fragrance, I believe, from a house called Gallagher, and it's called Rosé All Day. So if you were intrigued by my description of Heaven Speak and you also are a fan of a rose note, and maybe you want something like slightly boozy as well, I would highly recommend checking out Rosé All Day. It, to me, smells like it's Thanksgiving. I might have to spray this. Okay, to me, this is what it smells like. This is my Thanksgiving fragrance every year. It's like you've gone to someone's house for Thanksgiving dinner and you've just entered into their living room and they have like this giant table set up for all of their guests. And on the table, they have like some containers, like these beautiful glass containers of whiskey. So you're getting like a little bit of waft of whiskey. And they've got these beautiful roses that are on the table, but they're like, the roses are like slightly starting to turn. So they have kind of that like almost sour smell to them. And then you've also got these beautiful like apple pies or apple crisps that are also set on the table, and they're like still kind of warm, so you can kind of get these like appley smells from it. So you're getting like this boozy, rosy apple smell. And there's also something like, no, that's the rose that I'm smelling. Getting a little bit of greenness from the rose actually. This is just absolutely beautiful, you guys. This is so pretty. Like it's such a beautiful, so well blended fragrance, and I love this so much. And like I said, people were raving about it years ago and now no one talks about it anymore. But I highly recommend, if you like what I was talking about with Heaven Speak, if you're into like the apple pie kind of boozy sweet fragrances, but you also really appreciate rose, definitely check out Rosé All Day, you guys, definitely. And it's a little bit of a beast, so you can be careful with this one. Like I said, I've had this sample for 3 or 4 years now. I've only worn it on Thanksgiving. This has been my go-to Thanksgiving fragrance, and you know, like spraying it here and there for videos. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so sexy, actually. It's like, also if you like Jardin de Misva by Une Nuit Nomade, I think you will also really like this. It's not exactly the same, but the rose is similar, and it almost smells like there might even be some dates in here too. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm getting dates or if it's more of like an apple, might be just like an apple note. So good, you guys. I'm definitely imploring you to get a sample of this for sure. Okay, second to last on this list, we have another fragrance that I've only heard one other person talk about this on YouTube. This is Winter Nights by DASEIN. Look at this juice, you guys. I know I've talked about this on this channel before. You may be newer to my channel and not heard me talk about this. This is Narnia in a bottle. This is Winter Wonderland in a bottle. This is the first snow. So this is something we don't experience here in Austin, but I did grow up on the East Coast in New England. So I remember this, the first night that it's like getting kind of like gray and dreary and like it's gonna start spitting snowflakes, and you're like walking around your neighborhood all bundled up and people's fires are going. Like the sun's about to go down, you're like a little bit cold, but you're snuggly because you're like all bundled up, and you can smell people's fires. You can kind of smell some like pine trees. This is absolutely stunning of a fragrance. There, I believe, is maybe some lavender in here, but this is a very like fireplacey without going into like the by the fireplace route. It smells like the air when it's like starting to get cold, people's fireplaces are starting to get turned on, and it's about to start snowing, and you're like maybe walking like sort of in like a somewhat forest. Like this is exactly what this smells like. I wore this, I think it was 2 years ago. I was house sitting for one of my friends, and I was just spraying this all over myself every day because we were having a really, actually that was in November, we were having like a cold snap here in Austin. So it was like getting down into the 50s during the day, which I know doesn't sound cold, but for us it was really cold. And it was like dreary and like gray outside. And I had like this big puffer jacket, and I was like going and walking her dog on this super long route, and I would spray this before we would go on our walks, and it will always remind me of that week. And then when her and her husband got home from vacation, she texted me like the next day and she's like, my blankets on my couch all smell so good and I can't figure out what it is. Like, did you bring your own laundry detergent? And I was like, no, it's gotta be Winter Nights for sure, because it has this very beautiful kind of spa-like aromatic almost thing to it. This is so pretty, you guys, and I definitely recommend checking this out. They also have a winter, like a regular winter fragrance, which I also highly recommend. It's beautiful. It's just not as smoky. It's more like lavender. And then they also have, I think it's called Winter Green, which I have not tried that one yet. But that one's going to be more of like a minty, like a spearmint version, I believe. But definitely recommend Winter Nights by DASEIN. Okay, and then last on the list, I kind of hinted at this a second ago, but we've got another DUPE from Dossier, and this is the imitation of By the Fireplace. We just talked about that. This is called Woody Chestnut, and I actually prefer this to, I think I grabbed the backup bottle, not the one that we were already using. I actually prefer this to the original, to be honest. It's a little bit more sweet and less smoky, which I like, and yeah, I grabbed the backup bottle that hadn't been sprayed yet. This is really pretty. So it's got a little bit of a floral element up top. There's like a tiny bit of orange blossom that's like barely detectable, but it kind of helps like mellow out the fragrance compared to By the Fireplace. And this, I think the reason why I love this one so much is because it has a pretty heavy hit of Gaiac wood in it, which I love Gaiac wood so much. And then obviously you guys know chestnuts are like one of my favorite notes. And this to me on the dry down seems a little bit more vanillic than By the Fireplace as well. So what I would suggest for you, if you are, first of all, you have to be a pink pepper fan because the pink pepper is pretty prominent in here. So if you don't like pink pepper, if you don't like pink pepper, maybe skip this one, or maybe not, maybe just try it anyway. I think Dossier lets you do returns, so that's no problem. But I would definitely recommend this to those of you that thought By the Fireplace was a little bit too fireplacey, because this is going to be a lot sweeter. It's a little bit woodier because of the Gaiac wood. It just is a little bit more tame. So I highly recommend this. I think this is like our 4th or 5th bottle of this. So like it's definitely a staple in this household, and it's beautiful for like cold winter nights when you want to be warm and you want to be cozy. I feel like this fragrance is very warming because of how like vanillic and woody it is. So definitely recommend this one for sure. All right, guys, that is it for the list. I would love to know in the comments below, what is your absolute favorite fragrance when you want to feel warm and cozy? Please let me know. And thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed and you enjoyed this content, please make sure you do so. Please make sure you hit that notification bell and set it to all notifications so you know when I post a video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.